Peace and love, creatives. Today we are going to paint with the koi watercolors that I got in a haul that I shared with you guys. And we're going to use my handmade watercolor sketchbook that I made myself. Okay, I kind of had no idea where I wanted to go with this, so I looked up a reference and decided to kind of piggyback over off of what I saw in the image. And the image that I picked was actually not the one I was going to pick, but she was so pretty. I was like, I'm gonna do this one. The picture that I used was on Pixabay, and I honestly don't remember who the artist or the photographer was, so I'm gonna have to look for that. Okay, it is a very long name that I don't know if I can say properly, so I'm gonna say Shapkundusa, and maybe I'll put it down in the description so you guys can see it. So right now I'm just sketching it out, trying to get her features, as good as possible with the watercolor paper that I have in this sketchbook. It's kind of hard to sketch on it because the Arches cold press watercolor paper is really rough, and it's kind of hard to get your lines the way you want to, the way you want them. So there was a lot of erasing going on, a lot of lightening up the sketch and putting it back down, which was fine because it gave me time to talk myself off that rushing ledge and really enjoy the process of not only sketching but painting and figuring out the colors that I was going to use. Because I use this watercolor set when I travel, I more or less know how it's going to behave, although with the amount of colors that are in this one, it was overwhelming, but fun. I really had a good time using the paint. It's, like I said, it's not the best watercolor in the world, but it's fun to use, and it's a sketchbook, so you don't need to use the best watercolor for a sketchbook piece, right? As far as the sketch is concerned, I like the way it came out for the most part. I don't think I would change anything if I had to do it again, so there's that. That's a plus, right? Now, when I first did my first layer of paint, I almost went in super heavy and dark, and I really have to keep telling myself over and over, layers, for some reason my mind wants to just throw down the solid color from the get, and it just doesn't work like that. So I put my first layer on, then I put my second layer on, and I think I put 2 more layers of the hair color on. Why I worked on the hair color first and not the eyes, I don't know. But we get to the eyes eventually, and I leave them for pretty much last. I don't know. I just felt like doing that. I had fun with her hair. I did this kind of technique with another picture that maybe I'll put up somewhere, and I was in love with the way her hair came out, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try it again, and I'm gonna use it on this character that I drew. Now, as far as her looking exactly like the reference photo, probably not, but I don't go for, um, I, I don't use a reference to get something exact. I get it just so that I can have more or less an understanding of where I'm gonna put the features, you know, their features and how it's gonna lay out. Because if I don't have a reference, my pictures look way different than this, which is fine. You know, I like both. I like when I go a little bit more cartoony and fun, and sometimes I want to do real and, you know, like this. And I know that it's kind of like not 100% accurate in how it's supposed to, you know, a person is supposed to look or features are supposed to look, but I enjoyed it and I like the way it looks and it's good for me. And that's all that matters. I went in on her face again wanting to just throw a whole bunch of color on it and, you know, whatever happens happens, and I just kind of like slowed down. I took it back and I lightened up the skin tone that I made and put it on really light, and then I, you know, put a little bit of rosy on her cheeks. But while I was doing that, I don't know if you can see it, but there's like grain on the watercolor paper, and it's because of the paint, because the paint is really like, it's grainy. It's not the best, like I said before, and it definitely gets grainy. But I was low-key worried that it wasn't gonna go away, or the finished product was going to have this kind of grain finish on it and it wasn't gonna look good. But I pushed through and I kept on going, and there were a lot of instances where I almost ruined the entire piece with just like one drop of paint, but you know, that's what paper towels are for. In the picture, the young lady that I got the reference from, she was wearing like a sari. If you don't know what a sari is, it's a traditional Indian outfit that Indian women wear, and it was beautiful. And I kind of like just took the look kind of you know, her neck line with the shirt. I took it from there. It's not great, but I just wanted to have some kind of like, this is where her shirt is and where her neck ends kind of thing, so it didn't look like it went on forever or she was naked. Here I was playing around with shading, and I don't do that much, and I'm trying to get better at it, you know. It's really difficult, and I struggle with it, so sometimes I kind of just leave it flat with no shading, which is fine, or minimal shading, which is fine as well. But I really was trying to, this was like a practice session for me as far as the picture is concerned, so I wanted to try things that I wouldn't usually try, and that was one of them. Here I'm using Superior iridescent paints. I think that's what they're called. Let me see. It just says Superior, but they're definitely like iridescent, and they come in white gold, light gold, blue gold, yellow gold, real gold, red gold, bronze gold, and black gold. It's something that I found on AliExpress, and it was like way cheaper than what I would have paid for if I bought the Fine Tech watercolors, which are like super expensive. So I got them. I love them. They actually work really good. Her gold earrings are like super gold. So yay. At first I wasn't going to put her earrings because they're like really big and they kind of take away from the picture, but I was like, that's one of the things that drew me to the picture, so why would I leave it out? You know what I mean? So I put it in. And yeah. Her eyes at the end, I kind of tweak it a little bit to not make it look like they're bug-eyed, because right now they kind of look bug-eyed and I wasn't like too crazy about it. So I dial back a little bit and I make her top of her eye a little bit darker so that it balanced out. Then I went in with a couple of Prismacolor pencils because they're freaking awesome. And I finished off any like odds and, you know, odd ends, odds and evens, odd, you know, parts that I wanted to, you know, touch up and sharpen because I missed a spot, or, you know, things that I do because that's what I do. And then that's it. I kind of left it like that. I didn't do anything to the background. And I think she came out really nice. That's it for today. Thanks for watching, and peace and love.